Happy Tuesday. It's time for Stories with Sarah Elizabeth. Merry Christmas. We are at the last Tuesday of the year, which I could never have planned for me to start these a year ago on Tuesdays of all days, and for Christmas Day to be the last day of the year. I am so grateful for this day, a day that we get to celebrate a simple man that came to save the world. And it is an honor to be here with you and share a little bit about my story today. And it is my greatest hope and desire that each of you are surrounded by friends and family that you love and care for. And that today, on this day, that this Stories with Sarah Elizabeth will give someone out there hope in the future. As you know, I'm a wedding planner, and I have sometimes counseled, but definitely have stood next to over 450 couples on their wedding day, on the day that they commit forever to someone else. And I believed in the fairy tale. I was married for 12 years, and heartbreakingly so, my marriage died, and I got divorced. And yet I still am with these couples who are planning for their perfect day, for their beginning of their life together. And you know, when you go through a divorce, you end up a bit cynical to love. And you kind of question everything, and you know, it's hard to be happy for people that are getting married. But you know, I had to continue to do that and continue to believe in what love is and the perfect love that was designed for two people to share. And you know, when you go through any kind of trials, especially divorce is like a death, and everything dies. You as a person die. The dreams that you had for your family die. The hopes for the future die. The life that you thought your kids would have with a mom and a dad, those die too. And you know, when you suffer any sort of pain in life, it is about how you recover from that and the choices you make in your healing. And so I wanted to talk with y'all a little bit about how to get through great loss. If you've experienced that this past year and you cannot wait to get to the next year, or you're going through great loss at this time today, I hope that I can encourage you with a little bit about my story. When tragedy of any kind hits your life, it is, it's a low. You know, they talk about hitting a low. It's a low that I pray I never get to experience again. But I can also understand people and their pain and their suffering during those times. You know, I had lots of days where I couldn't get up off the floor. I had lots of moments where I had to hide in the closet so that my kids wouldn't see me crying. I had lots of bad days. I had to reestablish myself. I had to rebuild my business. I had to get myself out of financial struggles. I had to figure out how to do a lot of things that I never thought I would have to do, like things around the house or working on the car, you know, just things that I didn't know how to do. I had to learn, and I had to learn them for myself. But there was a time where I made a choice to get up and to fight. And I never looked back because I didn't want to be there anymore. And although I've come a long way, there are still days where I struggle, and there is still pain. And this isn't something that anyone wants to like, share, or post on Facebook or the social medias. We don't want people to see our pain, because then it becomes real. And then we have to actually live it and be in it. But my sister-in-law sent me, in one of the lowest moments that I had, a verse from 1 Peter 5-8 that says, "The God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen you, and establish you." But the best part about that verse is in the beginning, it says, "After you have suffered a little while." And so I suffered a little while, and I'm on my way to the other side, and I can't wait to share that with all of you. After you experience great loss or pain in life, you must begin the process to heal. And I chose that word very carefully, process, because the definition of healing is the process to which one becomes whole. Mine is my own process. It's not for you to have, it's not for you to mimic. It is my very own, and each one of us has to own our own process to healing. We both have wounds, but that's the only thing that we have in common, is that we have a wound. When you get cut or when you hurt yourself, if you put a Band-Aid over your wound, chances are you're gonna end up with a scar. But if you take that Band-Aid off and you really, you put the ointment on the wound and you take care of the wound, the chances of having a scar decrease dramatically. So it is a process, and it's your very own that you must own and define for yourself. For those this holiday season or throughout the year that experience any sort of trials of any kind, it is very important that even though there's a process, you must not rush your healing. You need to experience it all. You need to feel the pain, and you need to not rush it. There is a process to that healing that cannot be rushed. I kind of compare it to when you pop a bag of popcorn. You open up that bag, you put it into the microwave, you select how long you want it to go, and then you start listening for those kernels to pop. And you hear them, and they're popping. And you have to make sure you open that door at just the right time. Because if you take out that bag of popcorn before those kernels have popped all the way, there's kernels that are left unpopped, and it feels like such a waste. But then if you leave it in the microwave too long, it becomes burnt, and nobody wants it, and it's gross, it's disgusting, it stinks. But if you open the door at just the right time, you pull out that bag of popcorn, you open it up, and you devour the most amazing bag of buttered popcorn, movie theater style for me, that you could ever imagine. It's greater than any bag of popcorn you ever dreamed of in your life, because you waited for the right time to open that door. And that's kind of how I see healing as well. You must go through that process, and you must let every kernel that needs to be popped, so that you can feel that and be better and the most amazing person that you can be on the other side of whatever healing and pain that you have to go through. One of my very favorite songs is "Tell Your Heart to Beat Again." And through my journey, through my process, I heard the story behind that song, and I wanted to share it with y'all because I feel like it could help someone too. But there was this pastor in Ohio who had a heart surgeon that attended his congregation. And he wanted to sit with him inside of the operating room and watch a heart surgery. And so the doctor allowed him to come and watch the heart surgery. And there's this time where, you know, they were working on the heart, and before they put the heart in, they have to get it to start again before they close. And so everything was done, everything was perfect with the operation, and the heart wouldn't start. And so the doctor did something that oftentimes doctors don't do, and he began to pray. And he began to tell the woman that he was operating on that she needed to tell her heart to beat again. That everything was working perfect and wonderful, but she needed to tell her heart to beat again. And sometimes we have to do that, and we have to make those choices to tell our hearts to beat again, to remember what it was like to not have that pain and to get through that, so that we can forgive again, and we can love again, and we can hope again for the future. Your pain or great disappointment in life does not define you. Yes, I am divorced, but it's not defining me. It's not what defines me. You know, I'm a mother to 3 amazing, beautiful girls that I cherish and adore. I'm a business owner to an amazing company where I get to serve others on a daily basis, which is my greatest joy, is serving. And I get to be a part of an amazing moment in their life. And that is an honor. I often laugh so hard that my nostrils flare. I love to laugh. I love to be outside. I love to trail run. I love long drives and listening to music really loud. It's one of my favorite things. I love to travel. I love to experience new cultures and new life. I love being a friend, and I love and cherish my friends, especially those that have walked with me through one of the greatest disappointments in my life. And, you know, I love life. I love to serve. I love to give. There are a lot of things that I love to do, and a lot of things that bring me joy. And those are the things that define me, because those are the things that I allow to do that. You know, we all have the power to allow whatever it is in our life to define us. And so I challenge you all to consider what you're allowing life to define for you and what you're defining for your life. I wanted to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And my hope is that in this next year, you will love again. You will believe again. You will forgive. You will see good in others. And you will love yourself and love others that are around you as well. You know, this is my middle. And the beginning is always scary and a new adventure, and it's just scary. But it's what we do in this middle that makes the ending beautiful.